Hey guys, so today I am probably starting about 3 minutes early, so hopefully we'll have some more people join us as we get moving. I do record these live, so sometimes it is not always a science or an art, but it is trying to get out as much good information as we possibly can. So today we're going to be talking about how to use tools that we already have to make our virtual meetings a little more effective. Okay, so because oftentimes I think we forget that we are looked at in this screen, right? So we are looked at in a virtual screen on a computer because a lot of our meetings that we are having in today's environment are in a virtual format. So we need to make sure that we're making the best use of that. And perspective comes down to this kind of concept, right? So you are looking at me right now through a actual webcam that is built into my iPhone. And that's what we're going to go over because oftentimes, and you'll find it sometimes, that I even forget to bring my extra iPhone. I'm having one here and I have one that's labeled up there. Not everybody has two iPhones, and you don't need two iPhones. I'm just demonstrating in this particular format. But oftentimes we use this camera right here. Okay. And let me rephrase that and put it right here. So we use this camera. This is our FaceTime camera. It's right here on the device, but you'll notice a lot of the things get washed out and grained out. And then some of you have gone the upgraded format and put in this fact, right? This is a Logitech webcam that is a little bit better. It's in the face of my mic here, but it's a little bit better, right? It has a little bit more robust nature of it. It does give a little bit more clarity than maybe the FaceTime cam. And then you have my actual iPhone camera. Now, I actually tend to enjoy this one more for a couple reasons. And I'm going to go over which particular app I actually use. And that way you can kind of see what I'm doing on a regular basis and how I work and what I actually find the most effective. So let me put my screen on here for a second. So I use a program called Camo, and that's a webcam for Mac or PC. This connects through Zoom. This connects through all your programs that you already have, and it actually downloads two apps. So one to your computer and one to your actual iPhone. So by doing that, what ends up happening is it allows us to bring in this program right here. So in my Camo Studio, what happens is I have this layout. Now, there's a couple cool things that I can do in this layout. Layout number one option is I have the ability to shift from device to device. This is a USB connected. So I've taken my iPhone and I've connected it USB to my actual computer. And I'll show that to you in just a moment. But in the actual app, I have the ability to shift this from a normal mode into a portrait mode. So when I do that, if you'll notice, it kind of blocks out everything behind me, okay? Or I can run, once again, in normal mode. Now, in that, it also allows me to take a resolution change. So I can bring my resolution down or I can take it up. It also gives me the ability to take audio directly into the source, and it gives me some presets. Now, here's the cool part. So on the right hand of the screen, there is a full light adjustment, image adjustment, white balance adjustment, and so on and so forth. Now, what this does is I can set presets. Now, here are a couple of them that has it, right? There's a saturation buff, a saturation nerf, a mono, so I can turn myself black and white, a synthetic wave 1980s, that's interesting, a tropical Hawaii, and an orc attack, which I find that one very terrifying. And then there's a couple others. And then I can just take it back to none, or I can create a new preset if I like it. And I actually like this one quite a bit. So I'm going to use this one. I also can mirror my photo, so I can put it on either direction. I can run an overlay. Now, I don't have any built on here, but I do have one that's already pre-built, and that says shot on iPhone, puts that overlay at the bottom. And then I can rotate my image as well. So I'm going to take this off, and I can rotate my image to a degree each way. Okay, and then I have what I find is the coolest feature, and that is my zoom functionality. So I can move this camera all around in my zoom, or I can zoom out, or I can zoom really close, right? And the nice thing there is it allows me to bring focus directly to what's going on in the picture. Okay, so this is an app called Camo Studio. Now, a lot of these features do include a cost to them, and I brought that up just so you guys can see. So the app is free. It gives you a couple free functionalities, and if you want to go one step further, you can actually add. In my case, I've added a lifetime license to it. You can do a monthly or an annual. Remember, don't spend money if you don't need to, obviously. But if you're going to use this on a regular basis, it is a very easy setup, and I do strongly suggest it. And I'm going to give you just a few baselines on here as well. So give me a second. Let me take over my screen here so you can see some other stuff on my end. And what this does is this just gives you an extra capability to be able to access some basics, okay? So if I take my camera here, you'll notice that this is connected through a USB, and yes, I have a lot of wires, but most people won't. Connected to my phone, and my phone's right there, okay? And then, like I said, I've just propped it on a box, so I can take this anywhere, and as long as I have something that kind of sets it up above, it will give me the access to be able to connect in that format. All right. And like I said, my webcam's right next to it, and then there's my normal device. So it just gives me an extra access. Okay. So what it does is it draws in that app, it brings it a couple close points, and then allows me to connect in a better way. Another app that is also something that I've used in the past, and I like as well, I just like the functionality of Camo a little better, but that's Epoch Cam, and that's EPOCCAM. Type that into your device, go on there. It's in the App Store. You can download it as well. The nice thing about Epoch Cam is it does work in a virtual functionality, which means that you don't have to actually have it connected. You can use it through an actual Wi-Fi connection. It's a little spotty and it can get a little touchy. I don't like to do that, but it can work virtually through Wi-Fi if you decide. It also uses an NDI source. NDI is a little more high tech, but if you like to get into high tech, it is the NDI connection as well. So has a little more robust technology. It also allows you to add things like filters onto the camera itself, which some of you guys like that. So Epoch Cam is a great resource that is done by Elgato, which is a ton of great streaming information if you're liking to get into some high tech YouTube green screen stuff like that. So both very good products. Like them quite a bit. Both of them I have. Epoch Cam also has a paid functionality. It's paid by the app, so it's a little cheaper. I personally like Camo Studio just a little bit more, just because that's what's kind of caught my attention in a little bit format. But all this comes down to very simply knowing what you're trying to accomplish. Like I said, all too often we want to present ourselves in the best fashion possible. And one of the technicalities of the way that we can do that is by having the best video format. And I feel that going above and beyond, remember, a lot of us have bought those little webcams. I bought mine first, and I found that that was really useful until I found that I could use the 3 camera setup that most iPhones have, anyways, right? This is probably the most robust camera that you will find if you're not using something like a DSLR or something a little more robust. So your iPhone already has that functionality. Either turn it on do not disturb or turn it on a airplane mode and then use this functionality. I will tell you that your game will step up when it comes down to virtual streaming. And it's not too complicated either. It's literally a plug and play system. Now, I use a little more robust in that circumstance, but not everybody needs to, and not everybody wants to. So just remember, it just gives a little extra technicality to your virtual meetings. It allows you to step up your game, and it allows you, once again, to see yourself in this format, right? A little bit better, because when people are watching on camera, and let me zoom out a little bit because that's a little close for comfort. It allows you to see just a little more comfortability in that circumstance. So hopefully that was beneficial, guys. Hopefully that kind of gave you a concept of what we were trying to get at in just what we do every day, right? If we work through this process, we will be successful, and we just have to find the tools and resources that are in our business every single day to make ourselves more successful. So when you're watching in this format, like you guys are watching right now, having a little bit better camera, because once again, it's just simple camera stuff, right? Using the difference between a FaceTime camera, the camera that I have on my iPhone, or a web scammer. This one just whites out everything. It just doesn't give me the feeling that I think is most effective when I'm trying to communicate with people. So thank you for your time. Hopefully this was beneficial. If you have any questions, I will post a link for both Camo, the app, and the Epoch Cam app. They are both very resourceful. You just have to personally find which one you like better. And that now allows you to take your iPhone and turn it into a webcam at any time. One of them, you don't even need a cord. The other one, all you got to do is plug your cord in. It's charging your phone while you're going at it. So just adds an extra layer of benefit. Guys, thank you for your time. Have a great day. See you later.